Welcome to Misbehaving in Maine. I'm Dan Williams. This story is called Lying Can Bring Us Together. And now, here goes everything. One day back in childhood, my older brother Joe and I were standing in the driveway. We had a unique driveway. From the crown of it, you could see everything, miles and miles, all the way to the Purple Mountain Majesties. We were checking out all the majesty and watching rogue crows cross the sky and looking at smoke snakes slithering out of faraway chimneys when Joe said, "You know pterodactyls?" At the time, I was holding a pterodactyl. "I'm familiar," I said. "Well, they're still alive," he said. "What do you mean?" "Just what I said. They're alive and flying around still." "Yeah, but not in America." "Oh yes, in America, big time." "Really?" "Really. They could pick you up easy and carry you away. We'd never see you again." "No." "Yes."
How do you know?
"I just do." That was good enough for me. I looked frantically to the skies.
This is horrible.
"I know, and for you it's really horrible."
Why?
"See, I'm much too big to pick up, but you're exactly the right size. They can spot you from a mile away, and when they come to get you, you never hear them. You don't even see them. They fly just above the trees. And right before they get you, there's a huge shadow on the ground all around you, and you look up, and there it is. They grab you with their long claws, then carry you away, and that's the last anyone ever sees you. It happens all the time, especially in America." And with that, the sky changed. I changed. I had formerly been a boy who worried only about ghosts and Satan and bears and murderous marijuana farmers deep in the woods. Now, dinosaurs were on my list. My darling dinosaurs. I looked at the pterodactyl in my hand. He was just a baby. I looked at the sky again and imagined his mother. From a mile away, she sees two boys. One she ignores. He's much too big. The other, however, is small, the perfect size for grabbing and carrying and killing. With one easy swing of her long leather wings, she rises, then flies, covering that mile in seconds, soaring mere feet above the leafy canopy, keeping out of sight. The trees open for a driveway where the two boys stand. She dives, eclipsing the sun. Her shadow's as big as an airplane, and her body's silent as a cloud. Before the smaller boy knows what's happening, her long fingers wrap around him in a crushing grip, then tear him screaming up and into the wild and unsympathetic blue yonder. I imagined all these things until a crow in a tree beside the driveway screamed. I screamed and ran crying for the house. Joe ran after me, and for some reason he was trying to stop me from sharing with Mom the awful truth about prehistoric death in the skies. It was back. Tearfully, screamily, I told.
They're back. They're back.
"Who's back?" said Mom.
Dinosaurs. I'm dead. You and Joe are much too heavy to lift, but I'm dead.
Mom punished Joe, and though she told me the truth about pterodactyls, it still took a while for the air to clear of their presence, and longer for them to leave my dreams. But looking back, I'm grateful. How many people can say they know what it feels like to be hunted by a dinosaur? I can. And this experience has helped me prepare for adulthood, that time in life when we are increasingly aware that no day is safe. Our end can come at any time, from anywhere, even the sky, on a beautiful sunny day. We adults begin to sense we're being watched, followed, hunted by something inevitable, an ancient, monstrous, silent fact. When it dives down into the clearing where we're standing, no matter how hard we run, we'll never make it home. Every day that I'm not carried away screaming into the sky, never to be seen again, is a good day. Thank you, Joe. It was a good lie. A month after my taste of Mesozoic hell, Joe and I were on a hill in the woods. My father called the hill Birch Mountain because it was a high hill with birches on it. Also, it was on our property, and though owning a hill is great, it's way better to own a mountain. Joe was weaving dead branches into a lean-to. I was in the tree the lean-to was leaning on. As I gazed off into the distances, I had an idea. "Joe," I said, and when I said it, I made myself sound scared. "Joe?" He didn't answer. I tried to sound even more scared. "Joe!" "What?"
"There's a bear."
"What?"
"A bear. There's a black bear."
He lowered the branch he was holding. "No, there isn't."
"It's in the swamp," I said.
There was a swamp at the bottom of the mountain.
"It's in the swamp at the bottom of the mountain. It's climbing. It's coming toward us."
"There's no bear," he said, though if he really believed this, he would have gone back to his lean-to weavings. He did not. He dropped the branch. Then he looked down the mountain toward the swamp. He could see nothing because you can see nothing when you're standing on Birch Mountain. You can hardly even see the mountain. There's too much brush, too many birches in the way. But if you're in a tree like I was, you see everything, sometimes even things that aren't there at all.
"Yes, there is a bear,"
I said.
"It's so big. It's huge."
"Is there really?" he said. Now he sounded scared, and that scared me. My belief meter suddenly registered a pulse. It was weak, but it was there. I looked down into the brush and birches of the mountainside. I looked to the swamp, searching frantically for bears, real ones. Joe and I had been taught all our lives to fear bears. Once our father crept up on us in the woods while we were probably playing with a deer skeleton or shoving sticks into a bee hole. Dad charged from behind a tree screaming, and all three of us died. Joe and I died of fear. Dad died of laughter. But he'd earned it for teaching us a good lesson. Vigilance. In Maine, the threat is real. Black bears kill children, especially those who believe in them. And they don't kill like grizzlies, which is sometimes mercifully fast. They kill slow. They dig at your belly with their long claws, digging for every last scrap and drop of your blood and meat and vast hidden deposits of candy. It can take weeks to die. "Are you lying?" Joe cried.
"I'm not lying."
A lie, yes, though again my fear was somewhat real, about 1 to 2% real, and when you're in the woods, that's plenty.
"It's climbing the mountain. Run, you have to run. Now, now."
He spent a few more seconds trying to see if he could spot this gigantic bear who was somehow raging our way silently through the underbrush and deep, dead leaves, which are traditionally very loud things when under the feet of bears.
"Hurry!"
I yelled. And Joe did hurry, but instead of running away home, he ran for a tree, the nearest one, my tree. He jumped to the lowest branch, then climbed. He climbed higher and higher as fast as he could, breathing heavily, groaning with fear as he climbed. And in between all the huffing, puffing, and groaning, he managed to say, "You better not be lying." It was fun to see him climb so fast. Great that he was afraid, and that I had made it happen. Me, Mr. Gullible, the powerless. But as he got closer, I started to realize that the only dangerous animal who was actually in the area was Joe, and he was climbing right toward the high branches where I perched. When he was just beneath me, he stopped and looked around. "Where is it? Where's the bear?" I pretended to be looking everywhere for bear and bear sign, but there was a nervousness beneath my bear-seeking expression and a smile, too. Both managed to spoil my act. "You lied," Joe said. I lied again.
No, I thought I saw a bear. I did.
"You're a liar." I should have said, "This seems like a convenient time to talk about, I don't know, pterodactyls." Instead, I said,
No, I'm not. I really thought I saw a bear. I saw him.
and that's when Joe said, "I hate you." It hurt to hear this. It was the evilest thing we knew how to say back then, this being before we learned Hindi from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I remember drying dishes once and passing the time by using the movie's foreign phrases to open a dialogue with Kali, the Hindu goddess of death. "What are you saying?" Dad asked, looking a little alarmed.
Nothing.
"Well, stop it."
Okay.
I said in English. Then I did what all kids do. I tucked my Hindi away and went to my room where I could chat with Kali in peace. But before the Temple of Doom, "I hate you" was our most forbidden bit of language. I remember Joe stomping up the stairs once after an altercation with Mom. He paused to turn back and say, "I hate you." Then he continued on his way. He didn't get far. There was a sudden explosion of fatherly sound and movement. Dad moved so fast in his pursuit of Joe it was a small-town teleportation. He grabbed Joe and carried him downstairs in his arms like a cursed baby. Then he held Joe trembling in the air in front of Mom until something shivered out of him that sounded like, "I'm sorry." "I hate you" was just something we didn't say. So when Joe said it, I said, "I'm telling." "Then I'll tell that you lied."
You lied about pterodactyls.
This gave him pause. Then it made him smile. "And you believed it."
You believed about the bear,
I said. "Not really," he said.
Yes, you did. You were scared.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
We fought. We called each other babies and idiots. "You're stupid."
You're a freak.
We called each other liars. And it was true. But we also stayed in that tree. We stayed, even though Joe hated me and the lean-to wasn't finished, even though the tree was uncomfortable and getting worse, and even though I'd made up the bear and we both knew it, we stayed where we were, balancing on branches, fighting. Eventually we got to talking. This led to laughing. And behind it all, maybe we were thinking, let's stay up here a little longer, just in case. If there is a bear, after all, we'll be safer in a tree. We'll be safer if we stick together. This has been Misbehaving in Maine. See you next time. And remember, you may be wicked, you may be weird, but you're not alone.